Good morning, everyone. Tom Brush there, working the controls, making it so much better. Every week he improves this. This is like a real TV show sometimes, Tom. I love it. Love it.
Making progress.
So this is where if you were, looking for a podcast where they say we're going to solve all your world's problems and make you a millionaire with this one tip we're about to give you, you're in the wrong place. Hang up, disconnect, turn the dial, whatever you got to do. We're not those people. We are renegades, though. Tom and I, Tom Brush there, I'm Bob Graham. We're renegades, and we believe that our job here today is to get you to look at your world a little differently, to think about your situations, what's challenging you, and look at it with questioning mind, and then look for a small solution to take an incremental step towards progress. Not a huge leap, not like you're going to walk away in 15 minutes a millionaire. It's not going to happen, but you'll get closer to it. And that's what our today's antidote is all about. Like I said, that's Tom Brush. I'm Bob Graham. And Tom, I'm real quickly going to recap what we did yesterday in case someone wasn't catching it. Yesterday, I was on the hot seat, for want of a better phrase. We explored some of my self-doubts. It was very uncomfortable and very awkward. But we want to break that down a little bit today and talk about what came out of that, because I was sharing with you earlier today that it actually paid off for me. So I'm going to let you take things over now and steer the ship, because I'm just the unwilling subject, as it were.
Well, I think you were willing. I believe that you agreed to do that. So we were willing, sort of.
Something like that.
Well, and I think one of the, we've been talking all week about self-doubt and the challenge that it creates. And, the other thing we were talking about this week of goal setting. And, we got to the middle of the week, and yesterday we talked a little bit about some of the challenges that come along, and you were kind enough to let us into your world a little bit. And I think it's good to do follow-up, to see like where, not just to be like, okay, I was holding you a little bit accountable yesterday and trying to understand a little bit about what was going on. And once you do that, especially if you do it in the right way, and we have the right relationship, so I can ask you some tough questions in a way that's only about helping you get better and helping you get to where you say you want to be. And so my question, is, how is it feeling today? How did it feel throughout the rest of the day yesterday?
And someone's going to say, you're setting this up, this is too good to be true, but it actually got me to focus a lot more. It also got me to think about things. I had an idea that I'd been kicking around in my head for 2 or 3 days. And right after we finished yesterday, I think I shared with you the idea and actually started to implement it while we were talking through it. It's like, Tom, what if we did this? And I started to play around with some things. Had to do with social media. And it was a really creative moment for me. Not like I changed the whole world, but for what I am doing, what we're doing, it was a real spark. And I think what catalyzed was it went from, I had self-doubt about a lot of things, to you helped me feel comfortable enough that I could explore a new idea. And it probably helped that you were with me as I did it, because I think that gave me the safety that if it totally fell apart, you could, okay, Bob, good idea, move on. Now, what actually happened is you started to help me make that idea more real. And that, to me, was the thing. The other thing I noticed throughout the course of yesterday, there were some situations where self-doubt could have crept in a lot. And it didn't. It wasn't to the level. It wasn't, at times it can be paralyzing. It just didn't yesterday. And even today, I feel like I'm not in that place where I can be, where I'm just worried about things to the level that I could be. And well, I know that sounds too good to be true. And I see we've got some comments from Lachelle. Good morning, Lachelle. Compound effect, love it. That's nice. Questions remind us we are a product of our choices. I like that. Yes, we make choices. And I think the thing to me about self-doubt and about having the kind of support you gave me yesterday, Tom, is it makes the choices easier and they're bolder.
Right.
I think it's like when I eat the right foods and I go exercise. I feel stronger. I feel ready to take it on. It doesn't mean I don't do the same exercise. It just feels a little easier. Or I know you know this feeling. Your favorite song comes on while if I'm on the treadmill and my favorite song comes on or I'm rowing, it just gets easier. It's like 4 minutes of rowing goes away in no time at all because I'm focused on the music, I'm in the rhythm and all that. And I think it's some of that same thing.
Right. Well, I think it also, I think one of the things that happens is when we're in self-doubt, we have a lot of questions, usually about ourselves. And it's hard if all those questions ever do or just live up here and they're festering around in your head and they create challenges. When you're allowed to get them out and get those like worries, concerns, questions to someone else can help you just process it and not make it become this huge, overwhelming thing you're trying to deal with yourself. And I think that was the reason we wanted to do that yesterday, is to just show the value of talking about where you are and what you're trying to accomplish with someone else, for all of the reasons, for accountability, for you to feel more comfortable with it, for you to not just worry about it yourself. And I think that sense of togetherness, support, makes a huge difference as we try to move forward, not only as we're trying to achieve our goals, but I think even as we're trying to set them, I think that is another part where it can be overwhelming. We did our little exercise last night. If you don't know, we had a little networking gathering because as we're the start of summer,
Our summer success soiree.
Summer success soiree. We're trying to help people figure out what are the goals they're going to have between now and September 1st or Labor Day. And, I think it's a process to go through. And if you've never really done a lot of goal setting, it can be challenging. And again, if you're trying to do your goals by yourself is one thing. With a group of people who have concepts and ideas and other perspectives, that can make a huge difference in trying to create it. And Lachelle adds what I think is a really great comment that I want to share, is that it helps when you trust the other party and judgment's not present. 100% absolutely true. You have to create a safe space, a safe atmosphere where someone feels comfortable that not only can they share, like you did yesterday, some of the,
By the way, I see how you picked that comment, not the one before from Lachelle. Thanks a lot for that.
Well, we all know you had transparency yesterday, so that's...
She was thanking me for that. Come on, I need that for my ego, Tom.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Lachelle, for this comment. Bob really needed this to create the safe space and the acknowledgement of his actions. But anyhow, I think that...
So true. That's a whole nother week. In July, we'll be looking at Bob's need for approval.
Correct. Let's look at that in the future.
30 days of Bob. I love it.
So I think it's one of those things, that is self-doubt can just be so overwhelming that trying to deal with it alone is just really difficult. And I think that, hopefully what we've shown and people have found is that when they have a safe space with others, they can be the ones who help you work through the self-doubt.
Let me give you an analogy, Tom, that just comes to me, which is self-doubt is like the virus on your computer. It's slowing things down. You know it's there because things aren't working the way they used to, but you don't know exactly what it is. And because of that, everything runs more slowly. You can get things done, but they don't come as easily. It doesn't come as quickly. And you also, in the back of your mind, have that feeling that, boy, this virus could totally take over. And I'm going to go turn it on, or I'm going to go to hit print, and it's not going to print. And I'm going to be completely incapable of going forward. And I know it's there, and you are sitting there saying to yourself, should I stop and fix the virus? get the virus software, call in an expert, or should I just keep powering through because I have things to do? I think that's where self-doubt lies for a lot of people. It's a virus in our head. And what's interesting to me as I think through that now is yesterday, once I got that virus out of my system, I could focus on being creative without even trying. The idea fell into place after 3 days of what if in my head. Suddenly it was like, boom. I mean, I remember saying it to you and it was like, okay, wow. I mean, we were both kind of surprised that it just popped right up. Yeah. But I had been noodling it through, not real clear on it, but with that clarity, because now my mind was able to focus on that one thing without the distraction of, what if I'm wrong? What if this person gets upset? What if it doesn't work out? Tom's going to think less of me. All those things crop up. And I think that's where we have the beauty of it. The other thing I wanted to say is last night we had a couple of people that were struggling to come up with their goal for the next 3 months. And through the exercise, we were able to get them to take great leaps forward. One said that they'd have an outline for a book that they want to write ready by the end of summer, which was quite an accomplishment for Tom to get that commitment. He labored hard. The other person, one of the other people, I forget what she ultimately came up with it was to get a certain number of people on the social media. And then Tom and I made a commitment. I'm going to share this one publicly because it'll help.
You're really putting it out there.
Well, but that's the accountability that we want to have. We agreed last night that for our Ring of Renegades Facebook group, our private group that you're welcome to join, we're going to get it up to 1,500 members by September 1st. And last night we did some math. That's 17 new members a day, every day between now and September 1st. So we made that commitment. That was a commitment, I think, when I first said it, Tom about fell over. But he really saw, once I explained it to him, that's where we need to go with this. And I think that's the beauty. When we have that, when self-doubt goes away, we can come up with it. The other thing I wanted to the third thing was, once we set those goals last night, everyone rallied around everyone else. Hey, what about this? This is how you can do it. It went from, oh my God, this is crazy, to this is possible. And I think that's the really important thing. I see Lachelle saying, I use the image of running with scissors when I enter the mindset of self-doubt. It helps me snap out and say, this is a recipe of disaster. It works. I don't know if it's disaster.
Sorry.
God bless you, I think. I don't know if it's disaster. I think it's delay and distraction. I think we're able to do things with self-doubt. We just aren't able to do them as efficiently, as effectively, as creatively. But I love that she has an image that works for her. And, I really like this computer image because I think of my mind as a computer. So with that, Tom, go ahead.
Well, just because I have to. And Lachelle, I think, is maybe a new viewer to our show that, as the Ring of Renegades, running with scissors is really reckless. And that's one thing we try not to do here as Renegades. We're going our own path. We're doing the things we need to do, but we try not to be reckless.
Oh, Lachelle, you drew us into that. Tom loves to say not reckless. I almost got him through the whole week without that. In fact, we had a discussion yesterday off air. Oh, I like when I say off air. That makes it sound like we have green rooms and we're really important. I'm going to use that more. Off air is what I'm going to start saying. Okay. So back on air. On air, Tom, as we do this, what is your one thing to do today, your today's antidote that can help things move forward, hopefully related to self-doubt?
Yeah, mine is when you find yourself with self-doubt, don't necessarily try to solve it alone. And that could be, you may not have a person you can solve it with, but it could be a whiteboard. It could be just a piece of paper. One of the exercises we did last night, we talked about last night was, if you're struggling with a subject line, your subject is struggling for a title or of a group or whatever, write out 25 and see how many ideas. Some of them will be absolutely not good. You would never share them ever again. And Bob and I have done this.
Tom and I can attest to that. He told people last night, so I guess we could say the Wayfinders name came about after we did this exercise, and there were some horrible names that we came up with.
Horrible, cheesy, yeah, that's just not good. What it does is it allows you to get all of those thoughts in your head out to somewhere else. So whether you're doing that with a piece of paper or a whiteboard, or you're doing that with someone else or a group, don't try to deal with self-doubt by yourself. Put it down somewhere. Put it out in the universe to let it get out and not just struggle and stay in your mind. So that's my one.
I was going to say, you made it sound like when self-doubt crops up, but doesn't self-doubt always crop up, Tom? So
now you're making me doubt whether I was right or not.
Well, but you made it sound like when we think of self-doubt, what I think works well with you and me. Hi, Felicia, by the way, welcome. Tom, what works for you and me is that we have that relationship where we see the self-doubt in the other person, or we just talk about things and it's like, you'll say to me, well, wait, why are you saying that? Or, and when you get that, I think that's when things really start to perk up and really start to move. Lachelle says, absolutely write it down. It gives you distance from your thoughts. This helps you not attach your worth to the ideas. And I love her hashtag, America's Supermom.
That's too soon.
Lachelle, that's a great hashtag. And I will tell you, these days, that is something to wear with a badge of honor. Talk about a tough career choice these days, being a mother or father. When you're cooped up with your kids, I cannot even imagine. Although I get to see it next door because I have triplets, 8-year-old triplets, and next door is good enough. It's like going to the zoo. I can see the tigers and lions, and then I can go back to my life.
Good point.
Oh, Lachelle says she's the mother of 15 children. Is that really 15? Wow. I thought my aunt with 12 was the record, but good heavens. And my wife's the oldest of 8.
And my mom is one of 8.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, we're stuck. Yeah. I love the hashtag too, as it's been my identity for so long. That's great. Well, Tom, why don't we wrap it up? Real quick pitch. If you haven't joined our Ring of Renegades, please do. It's our group, our private Facebook group, where we are trying to solve these kinds of issues, where we're trying to help people get the information, resources they need to move forward. We're getting some great insights. Lachelle is an only child. Wow, that's a big difference.
I guess if you're an only child, what else can you do but have 15 kids, right?
You could have 12, 11, 6. Well, there are, there are incremental improvements here. You can join our Ring of Renegades. We'd love to have you join us. The other thing you can do is we have a group called the Wayfinders. Tom's going to pop the screen right now. The Renegade Wayfinders, where you can find people who aren't just gathering information about how to move forward, but they're the ones who want to take the aggressive action to really do something big, something powerful. We're working with them. We're guiding them to have the tools, the support, the resources that will make that happen more easily, more efficiently, so they can have a bigger footprint on the world. So, Tom, I think that's when you hit your button, and I did my job.
Don't we want to say thanks and have a great day, everybody?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Everybody, I hope you go out and have a great day. It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And we will definitely see you back here Monday at 8, right, Bob?
That is correct. And Lachelle says, thanks for sharing. I'm a new member. I feel like a part of the family. You, Lachelle, I hope I say her name right with that. You've made my day. I know you've made Tom's day. Telling us you feel like part of the family already is awesome. That means we are doing something right, Tom.
Are we having a happy hour this afternoon or not?
We are not. We are not going to do a happy hour. We have. I might post a song or two for those who are interested.
Okay, that's fine. Good to hear. All right, everybody. I hope that you go out and have an amazing day, and we will see you on Monday.
Be healthy.